Hello everyone. Good morning, guys. We'll just wait for one more minute for others to dial in, guys, since it's day one session, and we'll get started. Okay, let's get started, guys. I'm sharing my screen. I was expecting a few more folks to dial in. Probably they might dial in 5 or 10 minutes from now. I could see people coming in now. Yes. First of all, warm welcome to Fusion HCM Training by Geeks, guys. It's a first session for your batch. I'll start with my introduction. This is Prasad. I'm a Fusion HCM specialist with almost 20 years of experience in HCM space. And I've been doing HCM implementation projects in Fusion Cloud for almost last 10 years, guys. Okay. And I did lead and deliver some of the complex Fusion HCM transformations, global transformations for MNCs. And I did deliver close to 100 plus batches for Fusion HCM in the past, guys, for both regular as well as corporate trainings. Okay. And this is what I have an agenda for today. We would we will not directly talk about what is Oracle Fusion HCM Cloud, and we don't get into the application on day one. I will start off by explaining what exactly ERP is. Yes, some of you might already know what is ERP, but for the benefit of everybody, I'll explain what exactly ERP is, and then we talk about what is Oracle Fusion Cloud application. Okay, I'll also talk about what exactly Oracle Fusion Cloud application is. And then we'll look at what are the product families that Oracle has given in Fusion Cloud. Okay, and once we get a good understanding of what is ERP, what is Fusion Cloud application, and what product families Oracle has given, we will go ahead and try to understand how exactly does a HCM implementation work. What are the parties involved? What are the parties involved, and who does what? Because this is one point where I see often students have confusion. They don't know what is the role of a vendor, what is the role of a consulting partner, and who is the end client. So I'll talk about what are the parties involved in a HCM implementation, and I'll also talk about how those parties or what exactly each of those parties do in the implementation. Okay, so this will give you clarity. And then we'll talk about what are the normal HR business process flows that you find in any company, okay, irrespective of the industry. And we'll also see how we can handle those business processes in Fusion HCM with the help of modules that Oracle has given. And I'll also throw some light on why exactly you should be learning Fusion HCM Cloud today, because it is hottest skill in the market today, number one HR product in the market that we have. And while I'll show you, I'll open up the LinkedIn and Now pages real time. And I'll show you how many job openings we have for Fusion HCM Cloud. So that should give you an understanding of why you should probably consider this course. And I often get questions in our day one session, like, Prasad, I have a career gap, or I'm from a HR background, or I am from a non-HR background, non-IT background. Can I do this course or not? So I'll explain who exactly can do this particular course to clear that confusion. And I'll also give you a high level overview of the course content, like what exactly we cover as part of the course. This is what I have an agenda for today, guys. And I'll be going at a moderate pace, guys. I'll be going at a moderate pace. And if you think I'm going too fast or too slow, do let me know. I'm open to adjust my pace. And while I'm explaining something, if you have any questions, guys, feel free to unmute yourself, ask the question, and then go back on mute. But please do understand that I'll be leaving out a good 5 to 10 minutes only for question and answers towards the end of it. So if you have a question and if it is not relevant to what I'm explaining at that point in time in the session, do not interrupt the session and affect everybody else. Yes, I would definitely take all the questions towards the end. Leave out at least 10 minutes only for Q&A. You can ask the question at that point in time. And whenever you join a training session, guys, we'll put you on mute by default. We'll put you on mute by default. And that is done only to avoid the background noise, guys. That is done only to avoid the background noise. Please don't think that you cannot unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay, it's a live interactive session. Day 1 and day 2, it might be difficult to keep it interactive, but from day 3, we will definitely keep it interactive. Now let's get started, guys. What exactly ERP is, guys? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. To keep it simple, it is a single software system. It is a software system that helps organizations streamline the core business processes. Remember, every enterprise would have these departments. They have a finance department, HR, maintenance, manufacturing, quality, sales, etc. Before ERP systems were invented, this did not happen yesterday or day before. It happened few decades back. Before ERPs were there, every department used to have their own standalone systems, standalone databases, and it was very difficult to coordinate between the departments. Like it is very difficult to coordinate between finance or HR or sales and manufacturing. Okay, but with the help of ERPs that invented not today, it happened a few decades back itself. The ERP systems, it is a single software system that helps organizations streamline their core business processes. And what process are we talking about? We're talking about HR process, we're talking about finance process, manufacturing, sales, marketing, and so on. Remember, guys, every enterprise has some resources that needs to be planned and used effectively. What are the resources that we're talking about? We're talking about people, we're talking about material, we're talking about money. So these resources needs to be planned and used effectively used effectively, and that is exactly where we need ERP systems. Now, tell me one thing, guys. Yes, of course, we know that Oracle Fusion ERP Cloud is the #1 ERP product in the market today. We know that. We know that Oracle ERP Cloud is number one ERP product in the market today. What are the other ERP vendors that we have, guys, apart from Oracle? Anyone? What are the other ERP vendors we have in the market, guys, apart from Oracle? Has anyone heard of SAP, Workday? Yes or no, guys? So those are all the other vendors that we have in the market, like SAP, Workday, and few other vendors are also there, minor players. Yes, and if you look at, and that's a brief about ERP and what exactly Oracle Fusion ERP Cloud is, guys. First of all, Oracle Fusion ERP Cloud. There are 4 terms in it. There are 4 terms in this word, and let me make it clear to you what exactly each of these terms mean. Okay, let me make it clear to you what exactly each of these terms mean. And I want to give you a little bit of background between the on-prem applications and the cloud applications, and on-prem applications and the cloud applications. Okay, let's take a scenario to understand it. Let's say we have a client. Let's say we have a client called Emerson, and Emerson is a US-based manufacturing firm. It's a genuine firm that exists today. It's a US-based. It's one of the leading manufacturing firms we have in US. And let's say that this particular company wants a HCM product. They need a HR product. They need a HR product to manage their HR processes. Okay. Now, if it had been 5 years back, and if a clients wanted to implement any HR products, most of the applications used to be on-premise applications, guys. Most of the applications used to be on-premise applications. What exactly does on-premise mean? I'll explain it in a moment. So if Emerson wanted to implement a HR product, let's say they wanted to implement Oracle e-business suite. Not sure how many of you heard of this particular product. It's Oracle EBS. It stands for Oracle e-Business Suite, and this was the old version. This is an old product, old ERP product that Oracle had. Okay. And if Emerson had to implement this HR product, whether it is Oracle e-Business Suite or PeopleSoft or any other HR product, what is the typical approach they used to follow, guys, 5 years back? Emerson used to go to Oracle. They had to go to Oracle, and they need to spend a lot of capital. They need to do a lot of capital expenditure right up front to buy the required servers from Oracle. Remember, guys, to run this Oracle e-Business Suite application, you need application server, you need database server. So you need servers to run this application. You need machines to run it, right? So Emerson would go to Oracle, and it needs to buy those required servers from Oracle, doing that capital expenditure. And after Emerson makes a payment to Oracle, Oracle will ship those servers. Emerson would receive those servers on premise, on the location of the on its location. It would receive those servers, and after that, what Emerson would do, guys, it used to onboard Oracle application DBA team. Okay, they used to onboard the administration teams to install this Oracle e-Business Suite application on those servers that Emerson has bought from Oracle. This team is going to install the business suite on those on-prem servers. Okay, and who is going to be responsible for maintenance of the CBS application, guys? Where is the CBS application running? It is running on the servers that Emerson has bought from Oracle, and those servers are lying on the premises of Emerson. And who is responsible for maintenance of that EBS app, keeping it up and running 24/7, and who is responsible for upgrading it, patching it, and maintaining it, doing the disaster recovery? It is all a headache of Emerson. It is all the headache of Emerson. Now, can you explain few disadvantages with on-prem applications, guys? What are the few disadvantages that you can see right in the slide itself or in the Excel itself? First of all, clients need to spend a lot of amount upfront. Yes or no, guys? Please respond. Clients have to spend a lot of amount upfront. What are the other disadvantages that you see, guys? They have to unnecessarily manage additional teams to install the application and look after the application, right? And they also should be spending, Emerson should also spend a lot of time and effort on their side to manage those applications as well. So what does it mean? It means that as an end clients, when they are using on-prem applications, even though they spend a lot of amount upfront, they still had to spend a good amount of time managing those applications and the teams to look after that. Isn't it ridiculous, guys? I'm spending a lot of amount, and I'm also spending a lot of my time, a lot of my effort to manage the applications. Apart from focusing on my core manufacturing business as an Emerson, I need to do all of this. And that is exactly where cloud applications came into picture, guys. That is exactly where cloud applications came into picture. It is not something that happened today, guys. It's been there for the last 1 decade. And if you look at the applications that clients use today, not only the HR systems, guys, 99% of the applications that clients use today are sitting in cloud, guys. So if you take the situation now, it's okay, forget about this. This was the background. If Emerson wanted to implement a HR product 5 years back, this used to be the case. But what if Emerson wants to implement a HR product now? What would happen now, guys, if it is a situation now? Emerson wants a HR product. So what is it would do? It would go to Oracle and say that, boss, I want to use your Oracle ERP cloud product. I want to use your ERP cloud product. What Oracle would do? It would go to one of the data center. Oracle would see what is the location, base location of Emerson. Let's say Emerson is based out of Chicago. Okay. So what Oracle would do, Oracle would go to one of the data center closest to Chicago. Oracle has data centers all across the globe. Oracle would go to one of the data center closest to Chicago, and Oracle would install that Fusion, a cloud application, in one of the machines or in one of the servers of that data center. Oracle would install the Fusion cloud application in cloud in one of those data centers or one of the machines, and they would share the URL with Emerson. Okay, and what is it that I'm going to do as an Emerson, guys? As an Emerson, all I do was I would just go into the application. I get that URL from Oracle. I get that URL from Oracle. And after this Fusion application is installed, Oracle would install the Fusion application in cloud, and they would share the URL with me. And as an Emerson, as a client, I'm going to access the Oracle Fusion application or Oracle application installed in cloud. What does cloud means, guys? It doesn't mean that it is sitting in sky. It just means that we are trying to access an application that is installed in one of the machines in the data center of Oracle. It is not running on the local machines. That's what it basically means. So if I try to log in, yes, when you get a URL from Oracle, they would also be sharing a admin login credentials. They would be sharing one user ID and password with the help of which you can sign in. So this is what Emerson would do. If they have to implement Fusion HCM Cloud, or if they want to use Oracle Fusion HCM Cloud today, Oracle Fusion Cloud application, Oracle would go to the data center closest to Emerson location. It would install the application and it would share the URL with Emerson. And Emerson, as an end client, they would just access the application with the help of that URL, sign into it. And this is exactly how it is going to, the application is going to look like. And tomorrow we will be focusing on the navigation within the application. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about each and every point that you see on the screen. Tomorrow we'll be discussing the navigation options. And so what is it that we are trying to do here, guys? If you think of this as a client, Emerson, I'm going to use this Oracle application. It's called Oracle because of course it is owned by Oracle. And it is called cloud because it is not running on my laptops or on our on-prem servers. It is sitting in the data center of cloud, and it's ERP application. It's called Fusion because internally within the application, there are a lot of Fusion products used internally, and that's why it is called as Fusion. So Emerson would be using this particular product. And what is it called as, guys? It is called as software as a service. So I'm going to use this software as a service for a month. And at the month end, Oracle is going to send a bill to me. Oracle is going to send a bill to me for using this software as a service for a month. And that bill will depend on the number of users I registered here in the application. And similar to how you pay your broadband bill or a mobile bill, Emerson would be paying a bill to Oracle for using this application. But tell me one thing, guys. Where is this application running? Where is it running? It is running in the data center of Oracle. Who is responsible for installation of the application? Oracle is responsible for it. Who is responsible to keep this application up and running 24/7? Oracle is responsible for it. Or who is going to be responsible for upgrading the application every quarter? Oracle will do it. So as an end client, I'm least bothered about the maintenance of the application or installation of the application. I would just get the URL, I log in and I use it. It's like kind of plug and play. I don't need to install it. First of all, I don't need to buy the servers. I don't need to make that huge capital expenditure. I would just go to Oracle, say that I want to use their application. They would install it, give me a URL. I would log in and use it. As simple as that. I'm not responsible for, I don't need to buy the servers. I don't need to install them. I don't need to do anything. Okay. So, and there are quite a few advantages you get with using the cloud applications because you don't need to spend capital expenditure. You don't need to maintain teams. You don't need to maintain the application. Everything is done by Oracle in the background. Now, within this Oracle Fusion Cloud application, if you see, Oracle has given in that Fusion Cloud application, Oracle has given a lot of offerings, guys. You have financials, you have HCM, supply chain management, PPM, procurement, and so on. HCM is the one that we are interested in, but please understand this in Oracle Fusion Cloud application, not just HCM, you have other offerings as well. And where do you see these offerings in the application, guys? If you click on this username, under administration, you're going to set up and maintenance. And in that set, and once you go into this particular screen, you click on actions, click on go to offerings, and here you will be able to see what are the offerings given by Oracle. So you have finance offering, you have SCM, and if you want to look at the offerings given for HCM, you have workforce deployment, workforce development, and you have compensation management. You have three offerings related to HCM given by Oracle in cloud. And you can also compare them to the product families, guys. You have financials, you have HCM, SCM, and so on. And within each offering, again, guys, if you take HCM, what are the modules that we have within it? You have global HR or core HR module. You have compensation management. You have payroll. You have absences. You have goals, performance. So you have 10 plus modules in HCM Cloud, guys. And similarly, if you go to financials, you have a different set of finance modules like GL, GL, AP, AR, fixed assets, and cash management. And tell me one thing is, whenever a client implements Fusion Cloud, do you think every client would implement all the modules you have in an offering, guys? Or let me ask this way, first of all, should every client implement all the offerings that Oracle has necessarily? They don't have to, guys. They don't have to. They pick and choose what modules, they pick and choose what product families they want to implement. I've seen clients implementing finance plus HCM. I've seen clients implementing finance plus SCM. I've seen client implementing only HCM. So depending on the requirements, clients would pick and choose what modules they want to implement. Okay. Now the second question is, if a client has implemented HCM, does that mean that every client has to implement all the modules in HCM, guys? Like, should every client has to implement global HR, compensation, goals, performance, payroll? Again, not really, guys. So depending on the requirement, clients will pick and choose what modules they want to implement in HCM Cloud. It all depends on what are the processes, HR processes that Emerson wants to manage in HCM Cloud. Say, for example, Emerson might implement global HR, compensation, goals, performance, absences, and maybe they are using ADP to run a payroll, which is a third-party payroll vendor, and it is working seamlessly for the last 10 years. And even though Emerson is implementing HCM Cloud, they do not want to implement payroll. They want to implement all other modules. They still want to use ADP to run a payroll. Can we do that? It is very much possible. You implement all other modules and you get an extract from HCM or from a global HR module about employee assignment updates, and you can send it to ADP to run a payroll. So clients can pick and choose, first of all, what product families to implement. And after they choose what product families, within each product family, they can pick and choose what modules they want to implement. And how do they do it in the application? When you go into the application, you will be able to see the offerings here. And if you go into workforce deployment, say for example, and this is where you see all the modules related to HCM. And when you click on opt-in offerings, you see the modules in the next page. And depending on what are the modules that clients want to implement, you pick and choose them. Say for example, if client doesn't want to implement payroll or absences or time and labor, what do? These are all the modules you have in HCM. You can uncheck those modules that client doesn't want to implement. Okay, you can uncheck those modules that client doesn't want to implement. If they don't want to implement time and labor, you can uncheck it. So point number one, yes, Fusion application, this is how it looks like. And it is basically a cloud application running on one of the servers in Oracle Cloud. And in Oracle Fusion Cloud, you have product families with modules within them. Not every client implements all the product families. And within the product family also, clients need not implement all the modules. Okay, so Oracle Fusion ERP Cloud, it's an integrated suite of business applications grouped into product families. And Oracle Fusion HCM Cloud is a complete cloud solution that connects every HR process across the enterprise. So you have in HCM Cloud, you have three offerings, right? Workforce deployment, workforce development, and compensation management. Those three modules have, and those three product families have enough modules that can cover any HR business process that clients want to manage. Okay. Now, if you go in here, I gave you a comparison between cloud and on-premise. I did explain how it used to be 5 years back and how it is now. And all of you know what exactly cloud product means now. So the same comparison is given here. Now let's try to understand how does an implementation project work. Now there are three parties involved in an implementation, guys. On one side, you have end clients. On one side, you have end clients like Emerson. You have end clients like Emerson or Kotak Bank or ArcelorMittal or Diebold. So these are the actual clients who use HCM Cloud, guys. Okay. On one side, you have end clients who want to use. On one side, you have clients who want to use the HCM Cloud product. Okay. Now you have on one hand, you have end clients who wants to implement Oracle HCM Cloud. And on the other side, you have a vendor, you have ERP products or HR products. You have one product from Oracle, you have a product by Workday, you have success factors from SAP as well. Now, these are the vendors who have those HR products, and these are the clients who needs to implement or use a HR product. Let's say Emerson has had a discussion with other vendors, and they finalized that they want to go ahead with Oracle Fusion Cloud because it's number one HR product in the market today. And Oracle has installed this application in one of the data centers, and it has given the URL. It has given the URL to Emerson. Now, tell me one thing, guys. After Oracle installs the application, Fusion application, Oracle installs application, gave the URL to Emerson. Do you think Emerson will be able to use this application out of the box, guys? Do you think Emerson would be able to use the application as is? Let's say they go into new person, they try to hire a new employee. Assume that Emerson tries to hire a new employee. What do they need to do, guys? Whenever they try to hire a new employee, they should be choosing a legal employer. Meaning, what is the company that is hiring the person? And what value should I see in the dropdown, guys? Since it is a demo instances from Oracle, we are seeing some sample values given by Oracle in the demo instances. But when you go into the client instance, when you go to the instance that Oracle has given for Emerson, when you click on legal employer, you will not see any values here, guys. But what is it that you should ideally see here? We should be seeing Emerson legal employer here. So if Emerson has registered a company in US with a name as Emerson Process Management, I should be seeing that particular company name here. Right? Only then HR of Emerson will be able to hire people into the application. And also, let's say we need to manage the employees. So whatever employees that Emerson had today, let's say they had 50,000 employees. So somebody has to load those 50,000 employees, and let's say they are using a HR product today. Maybe they are using a PeopleSoft or e-business suite or any other old ERP product today. We need to bring in those 50,000 employees from that other system into HCM Cloud, right? So somebody has to do the data migration from their current HR product into system so that I can see all those 50,000 employees here. And as a HR of Emerson, I can pick up an employee, terminate him, I can pick up another employee, change a location, and so on. So the point I'm trying to explain is, after Oracle installs the Fusion application in cloud and they share the URL with Emerson, Emerson cannot use that application out of the box. Somebody needs to implement that Oracle ERP product or HCM product as per the client requirements. And who is that somebody? Who is that somebody, guys? It is a Fusion HCM consultant like you and me. It is a Fusion HCM consultants like you and me who are working for consulting firms like Deloitte or Accenture or Infosys. I just mentioned few random names here. So these consulting firms have hundreds of Fusion HCM consultants in teams. And these HCM consultants, so Emerson would finalize what is the HR product that they want to implement first. And after that, they also need to finalize an implementation partner. They need somebody, which could be a Deloitte or Accenture or Infosys or Oracle Consulting. They need a consulting partner who can implement Fusion HCM Cloud as per their requirements. And let's say Emerson finalized Deloitte to implement Fusion HCM Cloud as per their requirements. And what is it that we would do? Assume that myself, Amar, Ashok are working in a Fusion HCM team in Deloitte. So we would be assigned to that particular project as a functional consultants. And what is it that we would do? We would be from Deloitte, we will be talking to Emerson, understand all the requirements that Emerson has, what modules they want to implement. We do the detailed requirements gathering from Emerson, and we do that configurations in the Oracle HR product so that Emerson can use that particular product. And this is exactly what we will be training you for. Okay, so we are going to become a Fusion HCM consultants implementing Oracle HCM Cloud to the end clients. Now, what are the typical HR process flows that you see in any company, guys? Forget about IT, forget about consulting, forget about the cloud systems as such. Any company, for that matter, any company you take, what are the typical HR business flows you follow, guys? First of all, you recruit people. Yes or no, guys? Recruiting is the first step. And what do? We post the jobs, interview the candidates, finalize them, release offers, and we onboard them. And after that, employees will start working for us. And and I would be tracking their time. I would track their absences, and I'll make a payment for them at every month end. And yes, I would. See, nowadays you would have to keep upskilling yourself every quarter or every year. So employees need to develop their skills or upskill themselves, do the certifications to stay relevant. So for development, they need to do new learnings. They have to upskill themselves. They have to do the certifications, and they have to handle the transfers, relocations, and all that. And at the year end, we will have to do a performance assessment of the employees. Okay, not only at the year end, guys. Right at the beginning of the year itself, we will be managers would usually have a discussion with with employees, finalize the goals, and tell them that, boss, these are the goals that I want you to achieve by this year end. And at the year end, managers would do a performance assessment, pick up one employee at a time, have a discussion with them. I asked you to achieve 10 goals. How many did you achieve? And they would also be doing the skills assessment as well. And based on the assessment that we do here, the performance assessment, we would be giving them an year-end rating. And based on that, you would also be giving a rewards. And here you also have compensation coming into picture. Based on the performance rating that we give to the employees, we would be revising the compensation. We will, of course, not be giving 10% hike to all the employees. We would probably give 20% hike to the 5-star rating. And we probably give a 15% hike to the people with 4-star rating and so on. Based on their performance, we revise the compensation as well. And apart from revising a compensation, additional rewards companies are also offering to the employees to retain them today, guys. They are paying for employee wellness programs, benefits, and rewards. And if employee chooses to leave a company for personal reasons, or if he has to retire because of his age, we would do the retirement process of both the employees, complete the exit formalities. Now, tell me one thing, guys. Any company that you can think of, are these the HR process that comes to your mind, guys? Yes or no, please? I'm seeing a pin drop silence, guys. Are you guys following what I'm explaining here? Are these the HR process that we see, guys, in any company? All of you are on mute, and just in case anybody is speaking, right?
Yes.
And there would definitely be a requirement, to manage all these HR process. So if I'm running a firm, let's say I'm running Geeks, okay, and these are all the HR process that we have, and I need to manage them. Or let's take Emerson itself. Let's not confuse. Okay, let's take Emerson itself. Emerson has all these HR process, and they want to manage all these HR process in HCM Cloud. Do we have enough modules in Fusion HCM Cloud which can help clients manage all those HR processes, guys? The answer is yes. So if you look at Fusion HCM Cloud, these are the offerings that we have. Did we see these offerings, guys, here? If I go back here, in the offerings, did we see 3 offerings related to workforce? We see workforce deployment. This is a core offering, guys. This is a core offering. So all the modules that you need to implement, to deploy the workforce in the application, they come under workforce deployment. And here you see all the core modules, guys. You see global HR. And remember, guys, any client who implements HCM Cloud, should definitely implement global HR. It is a core module, guys. Why is it required module? Because without doing global HR setups, you cannot load employees into the system. And without employees, Without employees, all other modules become meaningless, guys. Without employees, all other modules become meaningless. Without employees, whose absences do you manage? Whose time and whose payroll do you manage? Or for whom do you do the goals or performance management? So for all of these modules to become relevant, you need employees, and for employees to be loaded to the system, you need global HR. So in workforce deployment, we have these many modules. You have payroll, HR, you have time and labor, you have absences. And in workforce development, this is more to do with the learning and the upskilling or skills assessment part. So you have goals management, you have performance management, you have profile management, you have succession, right? So these offerings, I mean, the typical modules are related to the development of a workforce. You will find them here. And after you do a performance management, given year-end rating, you need to revise the compensation of the employees. So then those things come into picture in the compensation. You have compensation, and in compensation, you have individual compensation, you have workforce compensation, you have total compensation statement. These are the modules we have. And also there are some concepts like fast formula or profile management, guys, which cuts across the modules, Say, for example, if you take a topic like fast formulas, it is applicable for absences, it is applicable for payroll, and so on. So those modules are given separately here. So to keep it simple, these are the typical HR process that every client has. These are the typical HR process that every client wants to manage. And we do have modules in HCM Cloud across offerings that can help us manage all of this. Now coming to the key question. Professor, tell me one good reason why I should learn HCM. The reason is, yes, first of all, Fusion HCM Cloud today is a #1 HR product. And do we have enough jobs in the market? Is it worth for me to invest money and time learning this particular course or doing this course? So if you click on this particular link, guys, and it is a direct Naukri link that I'm accessing live. I'm accessing a Naukri link live, guys. And how many jobs do you see in Naukri for Fusion HCM Cloud if you search for it? It is not a fake page, guys. I'm directly accessing Naukri.com here. And how many jobs do you see for Fusion HCM, guys, here? Roughly 5,000 jobs. And similarly, if you go into LinkedIn or if you go into Glassdoor or any other pages, you could see that there are at least 5,000 jobs available in Fusion HCM Cloud in the market today. And I think that should be good enough for you to at least consider this as one of the courses that you should learn. And remember, guys, this Fusion HCM Cloud, it is #1 HR product today. And it is in great demand in the market today. And it's only going to increase in the next coming years. Now, the common question that I get from students is who can learn this particular course? I have a career gap. I'm from a non-IT background. I don't have prior HR experience. Can I still learn it? Well, when it comes to education, if you look at these job ads, guys, you pick up few of them, and it would say that any graduation or post-graduation is fine. Whether you are a BTech or BE, MBA, HR, MBA, any other specialization, BSc, BCom, any graduation or post-graduation is fine. Very rarely clients mention that they are looking for MBA, HR, or BTech or BE, but usually 99% of the cases, it will be any graduation or post-graduation. And do you need any prior IT experience? Do you need any prior IT experience to learn this course? Not really, guys. We will be from tomorrow. I'll be giving you an overview of the navigation in the system, and I'll make you comfortable with it. And a day after tomorrow, we'll start off with user creation. Day after tomorrow. So we will be going through the course. We will be covering the topics in the course in a step-by-step process, covering everything from scratch. So whether you have an IT background, prior IT background, or whether you don't have it, no problem at all. And do you need to have prior HR or HCM experience, guys? If you are already working as a recruiter or if you have a prior HR experience, well and good. But even if you don't have it, it doesn't really matter, guys. Because to tell you, if I'm talking about these HR processes, guys, See, by the nature of the nature of the product, HR process are something that all of us can easily connect to, guys. So if I say I'm recruiting a person, I'm paying him a salary, I'm revising his compensation, or I'm terminating him. So these are the HR process that we see day in and day out at work, and these are the process that we can relate to quite easily. I'm not talking about a finance process flow. I'm not talking about a a trial balance, or I'm not talking about a balance sheet. I'm not talking about credits and debits here, guys, for you to make your life difficult. Instead, we're talking about HR process that all of us can easily relate to, guys. So yes, even if you know a HR process, if you have probably worked as a HR journalist or recruiter, that's okay. But even if you don't have that experience, that's completely fine as well. Because whenever we do those HR process, I'll give you a little bit of background first, and then I'll show you how to configure the modules. And is career gap acceptable? Neeraj, I'll come to you in a moment. Is career gap acceptable? Yes, provided you give the right reason. Say, for example, you had a maternity break or you had a medical emergency and you were off work for maybe a couple of years. You can do the course, come back to work, but it's just that you should be in a position to give the right reasons about your career gap, and we can probably discuss about it offline if you can call on this number after 11 a.m. today, in case this is applicable for you. And what are the modules that we cover as part of the course? Remember, guys, whenever a HR implementation is done, HCM implementation is done, there will be two teams working in a project, guys. There will be HCM functional team working, and there will be HCM technical team working in a project. The job of a HCM functional team is to talk to the clients, understand what modules they want to implement, get the requirements from Emerson, go into the application, and get into each of these modules and configure the requirements that Emerson had. Say, for example, if I'm doing absence management setups, I go to Emerson, I go to Emerson and I ask them, boss, what are the leave plans that you give to your employees? And if Emerson says, we give sick leave, vacation leave, maternity, paternity leaves to our employees, I go into what does a functional consultant do? They go into absence management module and we configure those leave plans. And similarly, we do setups in each and every module. And 7 functional modules we cover in quite detail, in depth. And the way I do these modules is, on day one, I give you a good overview of the module. So for example, if you take absence management, I give you a good overview of that particular module on day one. And on day one itself, I will also be introducing you, I would also be introducing you to the leave plans that we normally get from clients. I will also introduce you to the real-time use cases that we normally get from clients. So these are, and if you look at the leaves that clients usually give to their employees, you have sick leave, vacation leave, maternity, paternity, compensatory. So day one would be kind of overview session. And I'll also introduce you to the use cases that you are likely to get from the clients for each of these modules And next few days, we will go into the application and we will do all the setups related to absence management. Over the next few days. And on the last day of every module, I will also show you how to use the setups that are done and do the end user transactions as well. Because normally after we do the setups, what would happen, guys? We do the setups, we enroll employees into the leave plans by running jobs, and it is Emerson's employees who are going to log into the HR system, apply for a leave, and it is Emerson manager who is going to approve it. But I'll be showing you those end user transactions as well, even though we don't do those transactions in real time. After we do all the setups in the module, we would also be doing end user transactions to understand whether the setups that we have done works or not, and that would also give you clarity, like how exactly clients are going to use the configurations that you've done. So that gives you a complete picture. Understand the requirements, do the configuration in the application, understand how client is going to use the configurations we do. That is a typical approach we follow for each of these modules. And another important point, guys, if you look at the jobs here, if you look at the jobs that we have in the market today, most of these jobs, even though they say functional consultant, if you open them up, 99% of them say or expect you to know a little bit of technical as well. Okay. Yes, of course, there will be separate HCM technical consultants, guys, who will be doing their job, like loading the data, building reports, extracting the data. But as a functional consultant, you are also expected to know at least the basics of a HCM technical. So yes, we will be covering not just the basics, as we'll be covering HCM technical skills also in quite depth. And we will see how to load the data using HDL, HSDL. First of all, when it comes to modules, what modules we cover, guys? We cover global HR, which is the key, absence management, payroll. These three are the core modules, guys. Any client who implements HCM Cloud, these are the three modules that they implement. And we have goals, profile, and performance. We have goals, profile, and performance. These three are talent management modules that we cover. And we do cover compensation as well. These are the 7 functional modules we cover. And when it comes to technical, these are the technical skills we cover. We cover data loaders, how to load the data into HCM Cloud using HDL, HSDL, how to build BI, OTBI reports, how to write HCM extracts to extract the data from cloud and send it to maybe a payroll vendor or benefit service provider, how to write fast formulas, how to set up approvals. And we will also talk about how to customize the application using Sandbox and how to customize Redwood pages using Visual Builder Studio. So these are the topics that we're going to cover. It's going to be roughly a 10 weeks course, guys. Monday to Saturday we do 1 hour session. Monday to Saturday we do 1 hour session from 7 to 8. And over the period of next 10 weeks, we would be covering 7 HCM functional modules and all HCM technical skills. And yes, we would be recording every live session that we do, and we give you lifetime access to them. So just in case you miss any session in the morning, there were at least 6 to 7 students who missed today's session, guys. Not really sure why, but we will be sharing the session recording with them as well. So each and every session that we do, we record them and give lifetime access to the students. So just in case you miss any session in the morning, nothing to worry, you have a recording to go through. And we also give you 3 months of instance access. We also give you 3 months of instance access so that you can log in and practice whatever we cover in those sessions. So the expectation is you attend a session live, or if you miss it, go through the recording, log into the instance, practice whatever I'm covering in the sessions, and let me know if you have any questions in the next day session. We did already send out onboarding emails to a few of you who have already made a fee payment. Look at the onboarding email, guys. In that onboarding email, you would, and these are all the materials that I'm going to use as part of the sessions. You see that there are close to 100 plus files. We'll be sharing all these materials. That's a mix of PPTs, SQL files, or notes that I use in the session. And in one of the link in that onboarding email, you would be able to see a link to access today's session recording, and you will also have a link to access the login credentials of a Fusion instance. Get into it, try to play around in the application for some time today, guys. And tomorrow we will be starting off with navigation in Fusion HCM Cloud. Some of you, I'm sure at least not some of you, most of you might be seeing the application for the first time. So I want to make all of you very much comfortable in this particular application, because this is what you're going to deal with for the next 2 months. Yes, Neeraj, go on with your question. If any of you have question, please raise your hand, guys. I'll call out your name. You can unmute yourself, ask the question, and then go back on mute, please. Yes, Neeraj.
Yeah, hi.
Hi,
So
please go on.
my first question is, like, I am taking these classes from Canada. Okay. So HCM Oracle Fusion HCM, it works all over the globe the same way.
It works all over the globe same way, and even more important, it works really, really well in US and Canada, because Oracle is a US based firm, and you have thousands of clients in US and Canada who are implementing Fusion HCM Cloud. It has good demand in all the countries, especially India, US, UK, Germany, and so on. But in case of US and Canada, it is even more higher, the implementation or usage.
Okay. So, like, if you're implementing payroll in Canada for
Mhm.
in HCM, so would the procedure be same because they have the rules are different for payroll, the
Yeah,
things are different.
only in case of payroll, guys, there are some legislation specific components that comes into picture. See, again, in payroll also, most of the things that we do are common setups, like doing a payroll definition and setting up the periods and so on. But at the same time, there are some things that change with localization. Like when it comes to India or US or Canada, things would work in a different way. Or for that matter, if you take UAE also. So I'll be when we do the payroll module, I'll be covering the common payroll configuration, and I'll also be covering other localizations as well. I'll teach you what are the few things that you do differently based on a country that you are implementing for.
Okay, so that will be all. That also will be covered, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other
Okay.
questions from anyone? Yes. Yes, Ashok, please go on.
So I joined actually a couple of minutes late. So is it Mr. Prasad?
Yes, this is Prasad. Yeah, you missed my intro. I'll share the recording work that we had today. You can go through it.
And how do I need to make the payment?
I'll share the bank account details and you just drop me a message on this number. Team will send out the details and you can go ahead and proceed with them.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Yes.
in case if I need the instance access after 3 months.
It's possible. We can talk about it offline.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Any other questions from anyone?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Oh, sorry. I could see a hand going up. Yes, Praveen, please go on.
Yeah, Prasad, we have multiple types in OTBI and BI publisher, right? Like we
Correct.
get to learn all those also, right?
We would be in OTBI when you build the reports, right? In BIP, you have only, we normally cover the data model RTF part, and we will talk about how to register that. Have put you on mute only to avoid that background noise. Okay, so in case of BIP, we would be covering how to build a data model, RTF layout, register it as an ESS job, and run it. And in case of OTBI, there are different types of reports you can build. You can build summary reports. You can build summary reports and you can build detailed reports. You have dashboards. Yes, we'll be covering all of them. And in case of HCM extracts, we can build a normal extract and we can also build an incremental extract. We do that as well. But please understand that we will, yes, we will be covering technical concepts to a much more level of depth that you need to know, as a functional consultant. But please note that this is not a replacement for our HCM technical consultant. Please note that somebody else is paid to do this particular technical stuff as a full-time role. It's just that as a functional consultant, we should be capable enough of handling that technical stuff if that person is missing or absent on a day. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow, same time, same Zoom link.